what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Steve from the Valley Garage, and I got a special episode for you today because this is the first time we're having a non-Honda product here on this channel. I'm in the garage today with my brother,
Big Nate. What's up?
What we're going to do is he got himself his GSXS1000 2016. It's a beautiful specimen. It's fast, it's sweet. It's a touring bike, sport bike. Anyway, what the problem is right now is we have an issue with the throttle. We just recently picked up this bike, and on the back side of the handlebar, there's a little dimple that the throttle will go into. Well, upon further investigation, the previous owner, unbeknownst to us when we bought the bike, but didn't notice, he sanded away the little dot inside of the handlebar, and it gets this. So, not exactly sure why he was done that. Again, we're new to the GSXS game, but if you're any GSXS guys happen to follow or know anyone who does follow, maybe there's an extra mod or something that you could do to get rid of that. I don't see why. But today, what we're going to do is we got to replace this part, because as soon as you whip the throttle open, the throttle turns too. And that is not a good thing to have. So, we went ahead and went on Rocky Mountain, not a sponsor, and ordered us a new assembly. Part number will be listed below in case you have a GSXS or a friend has a GSXS and there's the same issue or want to change their handlebars and grips. We're going to touch upon a lot of cool things today for our first episode debut of our GSXS 1000. All right. All right, so the tools we're going to need to start this install would be
A Phillips head and a number 4 hex head. We're not sure what we're going to need after that, but we'll figure that out as we go along. So first off, we're going to take this cap off. We're going to move the Phillips, we're going to unscrew it. It helps if you hold this while you unscrew it. A little tip is you do not need to take the screw all the way out to take this out. If you do, the whole thing can come apart and then you have more parts to find.
Right, so don't drop it. So we'll set that aside.
Put it someplace safe.
We should put it on the parts cart, but
Parts cart.
Don't have. The cart is still stuck with the CR stuff. So our parts, it's gonna be the parts bench.
Next thing, we have 2 Phillips screws on the bottom of this part. This is the electronic switch assembly, is what the part is actually called. It's a fairly long screws. We're gonna disconnect this little plug here. Here, it's kind of a pain. There's no clip or anything to hold it in. Just really tight. There we go.
All right, so that just pops off.
Yeah, there's no clip or anything you gotta push down, just pull it straight off.
Pull it straight out, okay. So we gotta move the cables. Now, the electronic switch assembly is plugged in behind the headlight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our number 4 hex head, Allen, and we're gonna just take these 2 screws off so we have a better view of where these parts actually need to go. And eventually we'll take off the switch assembly, throttle tube, stuff.
Right, there's only 2. Gotta take this front plate off. It's only plastic. It's a little tight.
Okay, so there's a little plastic piece in the back of there. Pull carefully because, well, we just broke that.
Next step is we gotta remove these 2 screws with the same number 4 hex. Okay, so once we remove the screws, the headlight is just gonna pivot down It's supposed to do that. You can see there's the hinges there, so don't freak out. That's what it's going to do. So next, there's another cable. As you can see right here, this fat cable. We're just going to follow that, and we're going to unplug that. Follow the cable. We found that it goes to this one right here. I can't get it out because it's locked in on the back somehow. So you see if I got a flashlight on this thing. Hold on. I don't know if you can see that little black tab. Fuck, I can't even. It's there. I don't know if you saw it, but it's in there, and it's making this thing hard to get off. And I don't want to break anything again, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this gently. I'm pinching it. Fucking. Yeah, it's a little tab that I couldn't really get into because of the weird angle. But anyway, this is out now. I'm gonna pull this boot off. See what I'm fucking dealing with here.
How's it coming?
Oh, it's great.
Oh yeah, good.
I struggled with this stupid tab. You'll see it when you get it.
Oh, you got it, huh? Yeah, look, let's get a pick.
And there, all that, just to unplug that.
All right, so what you want to do when you get to this clip, right, is you just want to push down. It's kind of hard to do, but you push down and pull right out, you're out. Remove this panel. Take the Phillips and get those two. Right. We'll pull it forward, and then we'll see this metal bracket. So where the cable's going, apparently there's this little holder here. And of course, the big meaty clip won't fit all the way up through that. So we're gonna take this Phillips and hopefully be able to pull that down so we can try to sneak through and see how this is mounted.
Oh, shit.
What happened?
So tight, I stripped the other screw trying to get it out.
You stripped it?
Yep.
Okay, due to our blindness, I don't know why we stuck with the Phillips because that's how we started, but it's a 10 millimeter freaking socket, so 10 mil it out. I can't believe you done this. Let's see exactly where the cable fits. Here, lift it up.
Down and around. This is out.
Is it out all the way? No.
No, we gotta get through this cable holder. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that.
Here's the loop. See, there's a double loop there. So,
and this is
where's the line?
right here.
Okay. So now switch it with this line. Watch your fingers, it's tight. Watch your pinch points. Yeah!
Boy, is this so difficult. That's one.
Okay. So now what? It should just loop out. Here, look.
I just have the...
Hold on. What the fuck? Okay, there it is. Okay, down, loop, out. All right, okay. All right, we got it. Woo! So definitely taking the two 10 millimeter bolts out of the way. This way you can just loosen things up. You really don't need to take everything apart, but we got it out. Okay, so that's only half the battle. We still have to deal with the throttle tube and the two cables for that. The gas and the return. Okay, so here we go. Action.
Next step we have to get these cables off. In order to do that, there is a screw here that we have to undo. There's a bracket here, which you will see. And then we need to pull the boots forward, loosen up the cables enough because they are integrated
with the switch gear, right?
In with the throttle. As you will see, I'll show you once it's all apart how it looks.
Here we go.
And why we have to do all this.
The main freaking problem. Because some asshole had to scrape off a peg on the bars.
We'll show you what he took off and how much he took off. Lost the screw. Getting distracted here.
We're getting punchy. We're getting punchy. We're getting punchy. We gotta cool down here. All right. Get excited because we're doing stuff. All right. Well, can't worry about it now. It's gone.
So this little bracket comes off. Helps keeps the cable, brace the cables so they're still together.
All right, so you see how we did that? We slid it out of the way, and it's just a little holder. So you get the slack and you fold it up and out. You want to measure, mark your spots, and the way I do that with my cables is I use a Sharpie somewhere on this bench. Sharpie's nice because it's black, but it's shiny, so you can kind of see where the hell you're making a mark when you're working. Here's a Sharpie. It's a fat boy, but it's gonna work.
Okay, so next step we need to do is we need to take the throttle cables out. As you saw, we took the screw out, we undid this thing. And then next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark this with a Sharpie so that when you put it back on, you know roughly where the cable was when you first had it, so you're not going in blind and trying to figure out exactly where it was before. It just makes it easier later on.
We use a Sharpie because you can tell the difference between paint and Sharpie, and it's black and it's kind of hard to hide. But if you have a little bit of whiteout, a little brush on there, that will also work too. Probably be easier because it's white, you can see it, but this will have to look a little extra careful trying to see the gloss in there. But we marked it, and so now what we want to do is we want to loosen up all the cable.
This is just a stopper. This right here is the actual cable adjuster, so we want to loosen this up all the way. And then twist this all the way to give us full slack to figure out to get this out. Make sure the cable is pushed in. Twist the throttle back. It's it's kind of hard to get out.
Turn the throttle, might be helping you.
Throttle, there we go. We got that out. And then just need to take the slack out, get that out.
Boom.
All that to get this off.
That's a lot to remove the grip. Obviously, you don't have to do on the front, but to remove the grip, it would just be the top bolt here, slide it off. If we do new grips, we can definitely make a new video showing you how to change the grips, but we got it off. We did the hard part first, which was taking the front end apart so we can get to the freaking cable. And now
undo all the electronics. And now once you get those out, obviously you just pull them out the back and they're loose. And we're going to show you what this guy did. And as you can see, this little stub here is what locks into the handlebars.
Let's show you that.
To show you where it goes.
Little hole right there.
And for some reason, the guy took a file and shaved that whole thing off. Baby smooth. That's what it's supposed to be to keep this from shifting. This is what the guy did.
Nothing. No dot. No detent to go into the bars. And that's why the whole freaking thing was spinning. $120 to fix that part. We went to Rocky Mountain and we got the OEM part. I'll list it in the link down below in case you don't know why. I don't know why, but in case you want to change it or whatever. Crash your bike, whatever. I don't know. That's the part number.
All right, now we just put it all back together.
We'll take those screw off here just to prepare the piece.
Note, this part does not come with the bracket or the screw to hold it in place. That probably comes with the cables itself. I'm not too sure, but it doesn't come with this, so we're gonna have to save those parts at least.
What we should do is take the boot off the old thing as well. Where's the old part? Let's use that boot.
Yes, I was going to do that. I forgot. That's why it's good to have two people in the shop.
There's a lot of rubber to stretch. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a knife and we're gonna give this a slit so we can at least pull it off, because I'd rather have this boot on there.
And then we'll just electrical tape it.
And we'll pokey it back up.
While it's off, might as well just give this a wipe down. Just make sure it's all clean, dirt, grime, not in there. It's not scratching up the paint. Not gonna see it, but I'll know that it's clean.
Tell you one thing, you're gonna feel the difference.
There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, well that's gummy. I kept it intact as much as possible. This is gonna be a problem. So let's just try to. All right, so what I ended up doing is I cut a line on the side and then a little angle so I can get this bigger piece through. And now once we have it on there, at least it's somewhat waterproof. We'll put some black electric tape on it so we know that it's secured and water won't get stuck. Best option we could do without not having it. And say I cut it in such a way where it still maintains its form, which will be nice and easy to wrap up. Energy, 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 energy. All right, here we go.
All right, so now we're gonna put it all back together. Going to put these back in through. The return goes on the bottom. The other cable goes on top. We're gonna put the bracket on. We're gonna lightly screw that back in to keep these cables from pulling out as we're trying to put it all back together. Just trust me, a little help here. It's gonna be a pain if you don't. All right, just a couple of turns. That way the cables aren't gonna pull out. You're trying to manipulate them to get them back in. And hit throttle, only goes on one way. Can't go on the other way. Well, actually it can, but this side goes on because this has the tape.
Grab your tube.
All right, gonna need a little pick actually, because I'm going to put the top cable on first. Okay, so we're gonna put the top cable on first. I just used the pick to pull it out because it was stuck up there. Gonna put it in there, loop it around. And then I use the other pick, or not. You may need to, you may not. Just want to get that return on the bottom. I'm gonna twist the cable forward. It's a little hard because you got tension. You're just gonna put it in there and make sure that it goes around like that.
Yeah, so you don't want to pinch your wires. Have some, you can hold it with your hand and then give it a quick whip.
You put the two long boys in.
Get the long boys in.
Just to hold it all together so it doesn't come apart. If I can get it started. Yeah, just a little bit.
Perfect.
And the other one.
All right, 2 bolts are
In
in.
there.
Give it a little wick. See, make sure you got it right.
Well, it's on there. This is a little loose. Gotta tighten this back up, but it's working.
At least the return springs, it's still tight. All right, so now that your throttle's on, what you want to do is take your cable and you want to feed it the way you had it earlier. It's pretty damn tight.
Goes in there.
I think it comes through here.
This has pull this forward. This is why it's good to loosen these up, because you'll be struggling to get through. This goes through the back. Extra pair of hands helps.
Down and under.
This comes through that hole. Make sure this is behind that.
There you go. Looks clear.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna make sure it's behind this little bracket here. Okay, now we're on, it's through, we're good. Now we're just going to tape this up and then plug it in.
Wrap it up. Perfect.
A light snap, we're good.
Now you have everything plugged back in. It's just a matter of plugging things back together, and here we go.
All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this back in, make sure the nub goes in the hole and not shave it off like some people would.
Yeah, like some people. Yeah.
There we go, we're in the nub, we're tight.
All the way down. Nicey nice.
And then we're going to tighten them all down.
All right, give it a wick. Let's see how it works.
Well, first off, we gotta.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oops. Go back to your Sharpie mark, your water mark, your paint mark, whatever the hell you had of that, so you know where your throttle was last.
All right.
Hell yeah! Look how easy that was. Now you can wick it all the way open. This ain't gonna move. Fucking solid, dude. Solid. While I'm here, I'm just gonna go ahead, get this little clip in here, clip it back into the little bar.
That's important. That works the switches. That's the power to the cable for the switches as well. Oh no.
All right. Oops.
We jumped ahead.
Okay, undo everything, plug this in first, then you can clip it back in. All right, back in a minute. All right, we got a little jumpy, so what we needed to do, actually, let me show the peeps, was undo it all the way so we can get this little clip back on there, because with the nut and the bolt, it was just too tight. So now that that's in, we're gonna tighten this back up and then continue on the front.
There were 2 clicks on this when putting it in. So make sure you push it in all the way.
Click, click.
Click, click. Click, click, whoa! Not do 1 click. It's not all the way in if you only do 1.
There you go. Slide your boot back over. Just like so.
Does not want to go on.
There you go.
There we go. Just gotta complain that it works.
Put your bar back in.
Bar end back in.
Right? What is that, 10 millimeter?
Yep.
All right, you grab your 10 millimeter screw, lift things back up, finagle in the area so you can get the markup lines, tighten it down. All right, there's 1 and 2. All right, once you're both 2 10 millimeter screws are back in,
All right, then
next order of business is
flip the headlight back up. This is gonna be fun.
This is where the fun begins.
Snug 1. Squeak, squeak. Nog number 1.
and snug 2. Good, perfect. Almost there, boys and girls. 2 more screws left. And a clip, but that broke. So we're just gonna do 2 more screws.
And the last thing to go back on is this. Remember, we broke the clip. It's a little white clip.
Clip. Go back to the clip.
Oh, no clip. Oh, thought we had a clip. Nope, okay.
There's the new one. Here's the old one.
New versus old.
A little bit brighter, a little bit cleaner. Make sure that's on, and love this about the spike. 1 touch, she's on.
That's it. We're all back together. We tested the lights. We made sure we didn't pinch any cables. Now we can wick that throttle open. Hell yeah! We're ready to rip. That's today's episode. I'm Steve from the Valley Garage. This here's Big D. And we'll see you next time, alright? Peace!